Yo, what up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 236, I believe. This chapter. So Luffy finds out about his bounty, so does Zoro. But once again, I gotta say, what's going on with Sanji? Like, that killed it for me, alright? And the reason why is, like, Luffy and Zoro, they're getting all excited. Like, I'm 100 million. Zoro's just like, so I'm 60, huh? Yeah, that's pretty cool right there. Like, Zoro's just, head cocked back, smiling and all that. Like, that was cool, but Sanji, and you should see the picture on the screen right now. Sanji, he's saying, hey, what's going on with my bounty? Do I have one? And he's smoking, he's grinning, but he's shaking. And the reason I know he's shaking is you got the little squiggly marks. And then on the next page, or the page after that, we see Cricket, and Cricket is shaking with anticipation. And I don't know if it was Sanji shaking with anticipation, like, oh shoot. But the thing is this is the same arc where we find out about Sanji's being from the North Sea, okay? So right now it's just like, what's going on at this point? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I really feel like Oda is teasing. It's kind of like this, right? It's kind of like Oda is taking like the Sanji approach, and he's making Sanji into that girl that you think is really attractive, and she smiles at you, and she has conversation with you, and she talks to you a little more than everybody else, but you can't quite tell if she's interested in you. But you've made it clear that you're feeling her, and it's just like she's playing games. You know, there's never been a red light, but it's always been yellow, 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 and then you think you see a green light, then yellow. You know, it's just like, what's going on? I'm not sure if I'm reading too much into this, but it just seems like there's something more with Sanji. But with that being said, this chapter opens up with a big one, man. We see one of the Neptunians, one of those big ass fish, like eels, whatever they are, just going through the water, right? And you have Blackbeard show up, and this is after Nami and Usopp are like, oh, turn the ship around, it's just a dream, it's just a dream, it's not really happening. And Zoro's just like, stop whining. And in the same breath, Luffy is saying, if we never do this, we'll always regret it. And I really feel like that's just Luffy saying, if he doesn't do this, if he doesn't command them to do it, he'll regret it. And I could definitely see that, man. But I like how when Blackbeard shows up, it's right after Luffy says that, and Blackbeard is the person who said the whole thing about dreams and all that, and it's okay to dream dreams. So I like just the symbolism that's going on right there. But Blackbeard, it looks like his ship got totaled, and so I'm guessing, Oda's just like, I'll save them from a later time, because Blackbeard lets it be known that, like, Luffy, your bounty's 100 million. I'm taking you down. I need to make a name for myself. So, for as big as Blackbeard is, like, I don't think that, he's on the same level. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to make a name for himself. So that's going to be cool. That's cool, because it would have been too much going on if Luffy and Blackbeard would have fought. Or if a character like Big Roly-Poly Blackbeard got one-shotted by Luffy, because that's what happened if they would have fought, given the pacing for the current part of the manga, which is we're supposed to get to the Sky Island. We can't have all these random fights. It distracts you from what's going on. So I like how Oda introduced it, teased it, and then moved it off screen. So that was pretty cool to see that. The other thing about this chapter, though, is the deeper message, which is you don't live life with regrets. You don't live life with regrets. You do what makes you happy. You do what's going to get you to where you're going to be happy. Sometimes we all have, seasons where we do things in order to tide us over until we get where we want to be. And in this case, Luffy was on, Jaya, and he did the whole stuff with Cricket, had to deal with Bellamy, but that's where he wants to be, is on that Sky Island, because he's intrigued by it. Like Luffy, him speaking like that, it just really personifies how I feel. I feel like life is too short, and I want to do certain things, and I'm not gonna waste my time every minute in like life at this point. Like whatever it is I want to do, I'm working towards it. I'm trying not to waste anything. That's why, like, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna go from 5 One Piece reviews to three out the week, then what can I do to up the quality? Like, if I'm going to do this, what can I do to make this the absolute best that it can be? and I'm still working on it, playing with some different things. But that's the thing. It's just like you make your decision, you go full steam ahead. I like how Luffy, had this in here, and so when Nami finally stops freaking out, she starts using that big brain of hers and the logic, and I love seeing that because that was a little disturbing to watch her freak out the last few chapters, be uptight, tense, and then start freaking out, looking like, she's the female Usopp at this point. So I like seeing how Nami's just like, wait a second, we're going up on the current of this, right? Like that big ass geyser that shoots up into the sky. We're riding on it. The merry-go is riding on it. And the ship isn't flying yet, but we don't want it to float. Since it's a hot air that's propelling this, if we let the sail out, we'll be able to ride it straight up. And I like how she's just using that brain. She's doing what Luffy brought her in there for. She's doing what Crocodile knew that her talent was. The beautiful thing about people like Luffy and Crocodile is, and even, not Crocodile, Arlong. Sorry about that, Arlong. Nami didn't work for Crocodile's Arlong. It's because Arlong, not Arlong, Crocodile was just a few chapters ago, like probably like 30 chapters ago, if that. So that's why I said Croc. But the thing is with people like that, they understand that they have to get talented people around them who serve a purpose. Steve Jobs, he's known as one of the greatest minds of our time. But the thing about Steve Jobs is this, he would grab people who knew how to do certain things, and he would put them in position, make them do the work, and then he would take credit for it. That's one of the 48 laws of power. You're supposed to find people who would do all the work, you delegate it, and then you take the credit. You make your accomplishments seem less hard as they are. You don't let people see you struggle. You let them see you bask in it. And it's what our society is at this point. We're in a what have you done for me now society where too focused on the results, we're not focused on the process. Like I say, I want to have 100,000 subscribers. I say I want to be one of the best, if not the best Naruto tuber, one of the best Dragon Ball tubers. I want to be the best One Piece YouTube reviewer. That's why I've stuck with this going from chapter to chapter, because I don't think anybody on YouTube has done it chapter by chapter, this in depth, and gotten caught up. And when I get caught up, I'm gonna take this by storm. Like that's my thing. I have big plans for when I get caught up. Like that's the thing. Same thing with Fairy Tail. Like I plan on doing like some really big stuff, like putting my foot out there. But like that's the thing about it though. Like Luffy is an embodiment of that, because Luffy understands that you only have a certain amount of time to get things right, and when you have those opportunities, you have to seize them forward. You have to take it by the horns. You got to seize it. So that was cool, man. That was cool just to see all this. You have all the different things flying, like the Neptunians flying, or the ships are flying, and Nami keeps her cool, and Nami's setting sail forward. Sanji is doing its best to try to help. Chopper's freaking out a little bit, and Chopper even points out like, hey, we're starting to rock back a little bit, and that's when Nami gets everything back on ship. So the chapter ends off like this, and the volume actually ends in this way. This is a really nice way to end the volume. My chapter question is going to be, who were you more impressed with? Were you more impressed with, it's two questions. Were you more impressed with Nami's quick thinking once she stopped freaking out, or were you more impressed with Luffy? Luffy's whole thing of we have to seize the opportunity. So that's the first question. The second question is going to be, what did you think about Sanji not getting a bounty, and do you think I'm overthinking it with the whole shaking thing, or were you? How do you feel about that? I feel like that's not by mistake. The volume's actually on the other side of the camera. I can't walk away from the camera right now. But I really think that like the shaking thing, and then Cricket shaking right after that, shaking with anticipation, wondering if they made it up to the Sky Island. I really think that those are like page after page, and if that's the case, or within 3 pages, 3 is a symbolic number, so if it's within 3 pages, I feel like Oda is definitely doing something with that. But guys, as always, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. As always,